Hello Scorpio, welcome to your September 2016 Love and General readings. Very quick announcement, I just set up an Instagram account. If you feel like following, you're more than welcome. It's just Jane International, and I'll put the link in the description box down below, just if you want. Okay. Let me go ahead and shuffle for a few more minutes. I've already been shuffling for quite a while, but let me just do it, and then we'll get started with your love reading for September 2016. Okay. Scorpio, here we go. Oops. I'm sensing a significant feeling of disconnection with your partner. Scorpio, seeing you down here, your partner seeing them here. Very separate, very opposite, and separated by a Nine of Swords. What is it that is on your mind? I'm feeling a very heavy weight. And actually what's strange, because I'm seeing this separated in 3 columns, which happens sometimes, all of these are like blocks, right? Blockades. They're all, oops, sorry. They're all barriers and emotional issues. Let me just think on this for a moment, because the Star, like these 2 cards are so lovely and so beautiful, right? We have the Star, which is, you know, hopes and dreams, and I feel that these hopes and dreams are very specifically related to this person, whether it is your long-term partner, whether it is someone that you were just dating. These hopes and dreams could be very big. Some of you who are just starting to date, it could be like thoughts of marriage and thoughts of babies. Some of you who have been married for a while, there could be some hope and dream or some expectation that you have of what you want out of this life in relation to this person. Okay, and I feel as though there's an air of disappointment that this person maybe isn't acting, that things aren't happening, or they're not happening fast enough, that there is I feel that though that maybe there's a very specific reason as to why, you know, and some of you maybe, I am picking up the idea of like children, right? Maybe this has something to do with having a family or having issues having a family. Maybe you want kids and they don't, or vice versa. Maybe there's, for those of you who aren't at that phase of life yet where you're not even thinking about having babies though, you know, there could just be some childhood fantasy. And I don't know why the image just came to me, this like 2 children playing wedding. You know, kids do that. They take the pillowcase and put it over their head, and you know, they have their friends play the parts and the flower girl and all that. And they, you know, I used to do that when I was a little girl, and I kept kind of getting that sort of like fantasy, right? Or those long lost memories. And if you're totally single, you may be having difficulty inviting someone into your life because of these expectations or because of these dreams and these fantasies that you may have. Now, I am sensing, well, one, okay, I feel this actually could also be vice versa, that your partner is projecting onto you as well. It could go both ways. I'm seeing it going both ways. It could be you projecting onto them projecting onto you, or maybe a difference in dreams, a difference in goals being projected onto one another and sort of amplifying this. And I call this like the black hole, right? This and the devil, because of the black of the card. And it's like you're both now looking in different directions. Now you're both with your backs toward one another, and you're, well, maybe not your backs, but I mean, you know, you're looking there, and separated by swords, or separated by a burden, separated by something that feels heavy, that feels like a responsibility now, or separated by protections, by protecting your ideals and what you want. Because why should you be the one to compromise? You know, why should compromise be a thing? Is this dark? I'm just realizing. I hope you can see the cards. I'm just looking at my little screen here. It looks really dark. Hopefully you can see. If it is dark, I am so sorry. Ugh. I have no more lights to turn on here. But yeah, so you have like a protection of what you want in your life. Why should you compromise? Why should you be the one to give? And that could really be going both ways with both of you. Okay, and I feel that there's like that almost I feel like a lot of you might be in a relationship where you are feeling like it's just a lot of work, right? With the Eight of Pentacles. It's a lot of work. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of attention. And, you know, it's tiring. And it's tiring to work like that, to work so long and so hard, and to care so much. I'm kind of picking up a vibe that maybe you're just stopping caring on some level. And for those of you that are totally single, this can relate to dating in general. Not caring, or not putting so much emphasis and so much effort in it, and kind of saying like, no, I'm gonna maybe go pursue some other things, because right now just really might not be the time for me to find someone, or it might not be the time for me to settle down, or for me to commit, or to have babies, or whatever it is that you want to do. Even though that idea is still very present, like I said, it's very much a projection and an idea. And I do feel that there is a strong disconnect between you and maybe the people that you are dating, or the person that you're dating. Okay, and I'm not saying that you're going to let your dreams go by the wayside, or you're going to just accept being single forever. That's not what I'm saying at all. It's just that sometimes when you exhibit some sort of a pattern in your life, or when things just kind of, they get kind of stale, right? They kind of just all start being the same, or the days start being the same. If you're in a relationship that is like emotionally draining, that is sort of sucking the life out of you, again, you sort of become numb. And inside of you, in your heart, your dreams start to dwindle. And so I think you're going to start caring less, or you're going to at least, like I say, you're just going to be like, you know what, I just don't want to work this hard. I don't want to be dragged down. I want to have a happy life, and then kind of maybe figuring out a little bit what needs to happen in your life in order to make that happen. Some of you may be moving on from partners. You may be splitting and saying, you know what, this just isn't working. This is not for me. I am not interested in exerting this amount of effort trying to keep someone else happy. I need to think about me. And like I said, it's not as though your dreams are just going away and you're just succumbing to being single and you're, oh God, I'm just going to go be an old cat lady and get my 25 cats already and just go. No, I mean, that's not what you're doing. You're making a decision in your best interest. And for those of you who are going to stay in a relationship and really make it work, maybe you are invested, maybe you do have a lot going on for you, you're going to shift a little bit. Just because you are in a relationship doesn't mean you have to stop caring about yourself. And that's fine. I mean, I don't think there's anyone out there that would disagree with me that you need to love yourself and that you need to care about yourself and that you need to put your own needs at a priority. Because, and I've said it before, at the end of the day, the only person that you have to go to sleep with every night is yourself. And if you don't like that person that you've become, if you don't like that person that you are, or if you are feeling numb and you have no idea who you are, I feel like now would be an interesting time to make a shift in the way that you think. Movement in your life, in your romantic department, I think is going to be put on hold until some of these issues get straightened out. Marriage is going to be put on hold. Families are going to be put on hold. And relationships in general, until you start to accept what it is that makes you happy. And it's such a lofty idea. And I'm sorry that it couldn't be, or that it's not more romantic. I mean, I'm not sorry, because I'm reading the cards and interpreting them as I feel inspired to do so. But this is important for you to allow romance into your life. And if you're in a relationship that doesn't serve you, that bogs you down, that makes you feel obligated, and the responsibilities get to you and make you feel closed off, then it's not a real relationship. Relationships are about openness and communication, and I'm seeing the opposite of that. Lack of communication and being closed off emotionally and mentally. And so again, I think some of you are at a crossroads a little bit in terms of if you are in a relationship. Not saying that all of you are going to break up. That's definitely not the case. But now is a time for you to make sure that your needs are met. Okay. Yes. I love the Nine of Pentacles. Can you see all these? I love the Nine of Pentacles because of, again, it's the card of independence. Independently, you on your own, in your own realm, your own spirit life, being successful in however you define success, but not in terms of having another person in your life, not in terms of having validation from another person, but having that validation from yourself and not needing it from others, and finding a path or a direction in your life that makes you feel abundant, that you have abundance in your life. You might not know what that is at this point in time, but here is a promise that you will. Here is a promise of clarity and understanding and so many queens in your reading, but this is also you. This is you taking that cold, hard, rigid piece of steel, the understanding, the clarity, which sometimes clarity sucks. Sometimes clarity is an understanding of something that you just really don't want to accept, but you do anyway because you have to, because it is in fact the reality. And you take it in your hand and you become empowered. This is a very empowering outcome. It is, and I like that it's coming out as queens, whether you're male or female, because queens are the feminine internal nature, right? It's not about projecting outward or your social status, your social circle. It's about what's going on inside of you, inside your mind, your heart, and your soul. And you are not afraid. One, you're not afraid of independence. So if you are at a breaking point, breaking up, you are not afraid to be alone. And there will be blessings for you if you do take that route. Others of you, you might just be having a trial or some struggles in a relationship, and you find a way, and you're a hard worker, you make things happen, right? I associate the swords with like the military class, right? The military combat, they fight, they go out there and they make things happen, right? These are not passive income type of people. These are people that get down in the trenches and do the work, and that's you. And you're going to take the newfound knowledge, the newfound understanding, and this mental victory of yours, and you are going to create a new life or create a new direction for you and your partner, right? And I feel that these issues that you're having will become, they will straighten out in some way. So a really beautiful outcome for you, but maybe for some of you a difficult month, and I wish you luck with that. I hope everything turns out. I mean, it does. It always does turn out for the best anyway. But okay, let's go ahead and move on into your general. All right. General reading for Scorpio. Okay, well, your month might be very much centered around your relationship, might be very much centered around this person in your life. I'm going to try to tie this into other areas though, but it might kind of pull into the last reading a little bit, all right? Clarity can come in so many ways. Clarity can come in terms of understanding why something happened or why something had to happen, why someone came into your life. It can also determine, clarity in terms of moving forward and what you need to do to get from point A to point B. I have a feeling in the recent past, or even still, like today, you have been feeling trapped, claustrophobic, unable to see your way out. It's very short-lived. Don't worry, all right? Whatever situation, circumstances in which you find yourself at this moment, or which you have very recently, I feel that through the fogginess or through the confusion, you still remain, or at least you still find yourself grounded, and there's still like a tangibility to everything. What I mean by that is it's not so fantastical. It's not so like existential and what is my life's purpose and like, so it's not so high level anymore. And I think we've all kind of been through that over the past couple months. But with the 5 in reverse, 5 of Pentacles, okay, I feel as though this clarity is associated with what you need to do to pick yourself up. To pick yourself up, whether in financial, okay, if you have had financial issues, if you have, maybe had some expense come in, or if you've made a transition from a job, or maybe even got fired from a job, right? Something that created a little bit of upheaval in your life, a little bit or a lot maybe. But again, the tangibility, and when I say that, I mean that it feels doable. And you may be in the process of doing it already. Like the baby steps, the things that that need to get done. It's those to-do lists that you make when you, wake up on Saturday morning. If you're anything like me, what am I going to do this weekend? I have all these chores and things I need to do. And that's making it real, and it's making it doable, and it's formulating a way for you to find success in this situation, all right? And so there's a clear path for you, and I like that, because sometimes when you have been feeling this way, trapped and confused or lost or paralyzed by fear and doubts and all of that, it's nice, I'm being a little facetious here, it's nice when those things start to disappear and the pathway becomes clear, and now you can take the next step forward uninhibited, all right? And there's a fairness element to all of this. Fairness from the universe, fairness from the people around you. There's generosity. There are blessings around you or surrounding you or waiting for you, okay? You might not quite know or understand exactly how this all fits into the big picture of your life, all right? But the clarity that you need to move forward, the clarity that you need to make the change that you've determined is required, that you understand the small piece of it, but the big picture, I think that understanding is yet to come, all right? And I feel as though a lot of you may have been paralyzed, blinded by, trapped by some type of a choice with the Lovers, all right? A choice between 2 things that feel right, between 2 things that feel good, or opposite, 2 things that don't feel right, and yet you're still forced to make some decision about something. And this is kind of why I need to tie it into the romance, really, or the love reading, or the romance department, is because it is the Lovers, and I do associate the Lovers card with being the chemical amazingness that, the stomach flips, the butterflies in our stomach. The Lovers isn't necessarily long lasting though. Not always. It can be, but not always. And sometimes things happen in life that drives that wedge between 2 people, and that connection somehow is broken. And for those of you going through a breakup, it can speak to you in that way. For those of you taking a break from dating in general, can speak to you that way. But in any area of life, in your career, right? If you need to relocate, if you need to change firms, if you are even feeling a dampened passion for what you do, getting bogged down by the paperwork, getting bogged down by a toxic work environment, those things, those peripheral things, can drive a wedge between you and the love that you have for something or something that you do or some experience that you've had. Leaving behind a choice to stay or to go, a choice to pick one thing over another. And that can be very daunting, can be very exhausting, and it can be very a little too real sometimes, a little too real. But the good news with all of this, and I do love, and I feel that this is you, the Knight of Cups, right? The Knight of Cups, youthful, vibrant, excited, romantic, charismatic in his very artistic and beautiful way. With his heart on his sleeve, open and ready to talk to you and ready to share. You're following, I feel like it's like you're following your heart, following your intuition, following what you know logically makes sense, but also I feel like there's an alignment here between logic and passion, and that's always very nice to have. And even though you might be faced with a difficult choice, the alignment of your heart with logic can get you nowhere but in the right place because it's like your whole body, your whole spirit is telling you exactly where you need to go. Now, we have a little bit of a really positive thing here, which is the High Priestess. And I like that she's in reverse because to me, it's louder, right? And that's kind of why I feel like that intuition and the logic here so in line, where it's not deep, dark, down in your subconscious and you have to be very quiet and listen to. No, I feel like she's speaking to you in a very loud and clear manner, which leaves you not confused. And you have a direct path, you have a direct understanding of exactly where you need to go and exactly what you need to do. Even though, okay, I think you're going to still do it because, again, sometimes you're left with a choice that you just have to make. But you're going to do so, and even though you have your heart on your sleeve a little bit and you are following your heart, you are following your intuition and your logic, there's still a protectedness. And I think that comes from maybe the fear and the doubts a little bit, because just because you know what you need to do doesn't make you any less scared to do it. It's not like, okay, I mean, I'm trying to think of an example. I'm blanking on examples, I'm sorry. It's late. But you're still wary, you're still on guard, you're still very alert. Courageous, I like that this card is about courage, and that's great, you know, but you can be courage and afraid as well. I mean, so it kind of goes hand in hand sometimes. So let me I'm loving the scales here because it is a promise that everything will be just. Everything will be fair. Everything will work itself out. So the choice that you're being forced to make, or the direction that you're on, and I'm saying forced, right? You can also not do anything, but I feel as though it's like either one thing or another thing. It's either you do or you don't, left or right, this person or this person, kind of thing. And you know what's right, the sword, and Queen of Swords as well. You know what is right, you know what is good, you know what you must do. And when you do, things will work out. Now, sometimes in a reading, this can be a legal battle, right? If you're a partner at a law firm, it's almost like you put in the time, you sacrifice the time. Again, I'm not coming up with good examples right now. It's just not, they're just not coming to me. So, and this is usually like legal things, okay? Whether it is a settlement, whether it is a document of some kind, whether it is the purchase of some kind, something that is held up in a court of law, contracts and deeds and a whole bunch of other things, right? What's odd is I do sense a little bit of sadness. I feel as though you're at a crossroads, and you may be very hesitant to make a decision, hence the paralyzation, not maybe holding yourself back a little bit from making the choice. It's almost as though it's a choice that you don't, even though it brings about good things in your life, it's not necessarily a choice that you want to make. I think that either way, there's a big sacrifice involved. Either way, there is something that you must give up or you must leave behind. And it's like having the good and the bad, or wanting the good and the bad, even though the bad greatly outweighed the good. But the good was good, but the bad made it not worth it, You probably don't know. I feel like I'm not making any sense. But, and with the Three of Wands, lately this card has really been, to me, about waiting for things to come to you. But you can't do that. This is about action. It's about taking the steps. It's about making the change. And I feel as though because of the sadness involved, or the regrets that maybe you think that you will have, or that you will have, it's almost as though you are waiting for something to come to you, waiting for someone to tell you what to do, waiting for the other person to do it first, waiting for circumstances to be just right before you make any big steps. It's about very small, like I said, day-to-day, mundane type of steps that need to be taken. Remember, there is that tangibility to everything. Like, it's happening whether you like it or not. You can choose to be blindfolded, you can choose not to see, but you can't choose not to know, right? Because you already know. Anyway, I hope that made sense. I feel as though I'm running a little bit thin. I'm going to stop doing my readings now, but I do hope that you felt that this resonated, even in the slightest little way. So, okay, Scorpio, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it, and I love doing this for you guys every month. It's like the highlight of my month, I swear. So that is it. Thank you so much. You guys take care. I'll see you next month. Bye.